Hi, Carla.
Hi,
How's it going?
I am well. How are you? Is no
Good.
one, is it a quiet call?
No, Cassie's joining. You can have the first question though, since you're the first to join. Hi,
Okay, let me,
Cassie. You can have
I
the
wrote
second
it.
question since you're the second to join.
Okay, great.
Oh,
Carla, what's going on? How can I help you?
um, so I was following up with that about that email I had sent earlier in the week about like my FSH being really high and then my estrogen dropping and when I started taking the letrozole and
Yeah, and
then
I think
developing.
Sarah, Amy, and I all responded, right? That's the
Yes,
one? Okay.
yeah. So, and I started an inhaler. So, I think like right now, what's feeling best to me is um, to like do more to nourish that yin, like directly, like try and target estrogen and FSH to see, because I think I'm in this spot, like we really don't know, but it did start, like I know when it started. So, it's also kind of this experimental stage of like trying to heal and figure it out, if that makes sense. um so yeah, and then I'm also going to
Well,
do
when you say
PRP.
that, are you looking, when you say nourish your yin, what does that mean to you?
um well, the quiet contemplative herb, and then
Did you have
and I
Sarah look at that for you? What were her thoughts on that? So are you thinking that is like supplementing estrogen? Like, is that why? I just want to kind of get to the root of what you're, because Sarah sent like such a beautiful, detailed response. Did you have a chance to kind of contemplate that and read through it?
yeah, like I think I'm not sure what happened. I somehow have
I don't,
like a
well,
word.
no, Cassie, you put on
Oh,
a whiteboard.
oh, is that
Sorry.
what
I'm
I don't know what
sorry.
this is.
I don't know what it is either. How do I get out of it?
I have
Shoot.
no idea what it is.
Leave. Let me just leave and rejoin. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
um yeah, I
So
think
we can read through Sarah's email if you want.
I mean, I think the gist of it was to stay with the detox protocol,
Okay. Yeah,
but
definitely.
I think I'm not confident that's what my body needs.
Oh, the
Because,
detoxing? Okay.
yeah, because
So wait,
with
let's just
that,
take a step back. What, so, so what do you, um, okay, let me just, because I don't have everyone's exact protocol memorized in my head,
which
as
is
you can imagine.
completely understandable.
Let's just see what yours
I mean,
is.
I don't even have it straight. It's mine.
Because I think sometimes these things get labeled and they're really not, such a huge thing. Okay, so let's look at Carla. But how are you feeling, like your signs and symptoms?
Um, I mean, I really never, the only time I really had any symptoms were after my retrieval in mid-March. And then I took that GI map a couple weeks after my retrieval. So it makes sense of what showed up.
Okay, so when you're saying the detox supplements, what are you
Yeah.
labeling those as?
That mastica and the oil of oregano.
Mastica gum is not a detox.
What was that
Okay.
for the
So,
pylori?
so yeah, it's not, none of this is detox. That's why I was confused. I was like, is she on the jump start? You're
And
not,
what about the oil of oregano? Is that more
not
detox?
detox.
No.
No.
So can I take the herbs with that? I think that's where I'm confused.
Okay, so you're on, when I'm looking at this was 619, put you on the toothpaste.
Right.
That is a botanical that helps target the H. pylori levels because H. pylori
Okay.
likes hanging out in the gums. Okay, allergy research mastic gum. Just so you know, this is not detox.
Okay.
Something that's more like a liver detox, that's going to be what we're opening up the detox pathways. It's not even a detox with the jump start. So this is what this is doing is this is an antimicrobial that is killing off the bad bacteria levels. So it's not detox, it's antimicrobial.
Okay. I
So
guess
you're not
I think of
you're not detoxing. That's why I was so confused. I was like, why
Yeah.
does she think this is a detox protocol? And or oil of oregano, antimicrobial.
Okay.
GI Revive. This one is nourishing and healing your intestinal lining.
Yeah, the gut.
Yeah. So you're not detoxing. Where you might be confused is that if your body is exhausted during the kill off phase, if it's significant kill off, if there's a ton of microbes in there, when we do the antimicrobials, which by the way, oregano, that's like a very natural thing. Mastic gum, that's like a sap from a tree bark.
Okay.
So these are like and not to say that they're not super strong. They're biofilm disruptors, which means they help break through the wall, the protective wall on the bacteria. And so where the detox comes in is that if you start feeling like detox flu symptoms of like,
Mhm.
you're feeling nauseous, like flu-y, from the kill off, that's like that might be where you're getting confused, but this isn't like a detox
Okay.
of
I
like
haven't had
detoxifying the liver. This is killing off bacteria in the GI.
Okay. I haven't
We're
had
not
any
doing a liver detox.
I have been experimenting, or when I was taking it, I haven't the last few days. Because it did seem a little harsh on my stomach. And so that's where I was like, let me pause this and see what happens with my digestion.
Which seems
Get
harsh on the
better.
stomach.
When I would take the oil of oregano and the mastica all morning, it's like it just wasn't working.
So
And
let's
I
just
could
take the
see-
mastic gum. That should be very gentle.
Okay.
And hold off on the oil of oregano. Maybe 3
Okay.
capsules twice a day was too much.
Okay.
And I mean, oregano is super duper strong.
Okay. So maybe because
So
something working, because I could actually, the one day I was like, I got to pause on this. I could see the mastica in the toilet, like not like I hadn't digested it. Like it was still an open capsule, like it had opened in my
so you're
stomach.
taking it between meals.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was early in the day. So that's where I was kind of like, let me pause this and see what happens. Like maybe I don't have enough in my stomach, like where I was kind of like, I need to kind of experiment with,
Are you eating
or
enough?
saying it's not too much. That's where I'm not sure. Maybe I need to be eating more before I take it, and maybe
I mean, you're supposed to have it between meals, but like, how is your diet?
well, how do you define between meals? Like how much time between meals, I guess is my question.
Like an hour.
Okay. Okay. Then I would be fine. Cause I kind of was just thinking more empty stomach, but, yeah, it would be more in the morning. I don't think it was the afternoon or evening. So maybe I just need to make sure I'm getting more in like a full meal before I take it.
Yeah, I think so. It sounds like you're not eating enough.
Okay.
And that your tummy's raw.
Okay. And that could be.
Yeah.
So can I take the quiet contemplative stuff with that other stuff?
So is that what Sarah wants you taking?
I don't think anyone directly responded to that. I mean, I would have to relook. And I think my acupuncturist is the one that gave me the quiet contemplative, based on like my tongue and just symptoms that I've had, or like kind of just reading me.
And then there were breathing challenges too, right?
Yeah. And I'm still having that. And that's where I'm trying to get back into better balance to see if that makes a difference. Like to me, it's almost like data. Like I need that data of like, is this correlated? Is it not? What happens if my FSH goes back to
an appointment to see an asthma specialist?
I'm working with my primary
And what are they saying that it is?
Well, I have another follow-up appointment later this week, but to be honest, everyone's giving me the runaround and no one wants to say what it is. My primary's
what are they
say? My REs, they're saying it's not drastic enough changes in my hormones. my question is, when you go from a 0.35 FSH from being suppressed with birth control, and then it goes to a 28 within 7 days, I'm like, how is that not a drastic change? So that's where it seems like they basically said they don't know, like, follow up with your primary, but my primary is like, well, what does your RE say? So that's where I'm like, no one seems to be able to give answers. So I feel like I'm in this place of I have to figure it out myself.
Yes,
If that
but I
makes
don't think, I mean, that's also very stressful because,
Yeah.
you know, your body, yeah, and so so what are you measuring all of this with?
Well, based on
Because you
like
could, I mean, if you're having trouble breathing and you have a cough, I would more likely think that you have some sort of respiratory infection than
Okay.
anything to do with hormones.
Okay. I mean, I could, like, I very much could.
I mean,
And
I just think
I
that
don't
that's where I would be looking is like, I agree with Sarah, like have an appointment with a pulmonologist or asthma specialist to see what the breathing issues are.
the problem with that is that's going to take me a month to get into someone. That's not that easy.
And what does your
But I
primary
can get
say?
with my primary.
Do the,
Like,
yeah, I mean, I would think that you would be, when you see your primary, you focus on, you know, are my lungs congested? Are my
okay,
bronchial tubes clear? Like I would think that the breathing issue is likely respiratory.
okay. So push for like her
And so
to
why were you thinking the breathing was hormonal?
because it happened exactly when I had like when I started the letrozole, and my FSH went from like nothing to 28. So because and I looked back and I was like, when I even remember having a conversation with the ultrasound tech, and she's like, you really should be telling your doctor about this, because I was like, I'm pretty sure it's the letrozole. Because it had
So
just
did the
started.
RE say that that is a side effect of letrozole?
They well, they basically said it wasn't a drastic enough hormone change to say whether or not. So they're basically telling me they don't know. They're
But did
saying they
you
don't.
ask them, is this a common side effect of letrozole?
I didn't ask specifically about the letrozole because I'm off letrozole now and it's continued. So I asked more about the hormonal changes. Because hormonal changes can induce adult related asthma. So that's where that
Okay.
question came from.
So where is that study or paper on
It's
that? Because
on every reputable asthma website. Like if you
that
look at
hormone, okay, but what I'm looking for is like what kind of hormone changes?
it says like based on pregnancy, menopause, any like drastic. It just kind of gives examples, and that was just me looking
That's
like
interesting.
I'm not getting a full. I'm not breathing right. Like this
No,
is
that's
like
scary.
asthma, and then looking at like asthma websites, like because I was like, am I crazy? Like, can you even develop?
No, so
Never.
so have you tried to get an appointment with the asthma or specialist or pulmonologist? I would think if you're having difficulty breathing, you should be able to get in to see someone very quickly.
We'll see what my primary says on Wednesday. But as of right now, when I've asked friends for recommendations, they're like, it's months out. Like for everyone I've asked, they're like, it's so hard to get into.
When you've asked your friends?
But my primary was like, I got an immediate call back. So that's why I contacted my primary.
Your friends are telling you that it's hard to get into a doctor.
When I've asked them for their recommendations on their to get into their own doctor. So I don't have anyone established. Like the only person I have is my primary doctor.
Yeah. So here's what you do. You're having trouble breathing. It's significant. It's bothering you. It's very hard to breathe. You don't go through your friends, like go through your doctor and have them get you in, and they'll get you in.
That's what I'm trying to do though. So
yeah. So that's the route I would go on Wednesday. Yeah.
I need them to, if anyone's going to get me in, it's them. But I did get a very quick response from my primary because it's related. Like I get
scary. I agree with you. I don't think you're crazy. I mean, if you're having trouble breathing, you're having trouble breathing. You really just need to get seen. I would call your doctor's office tomorrow and just say, look, this weekend I was having a lot of trouble breathing. I need the referral. I need to get in today. You just have to like, they're not going to mess with someone like, if you're really having a lot of trouble breathing, you don't wait till Wednesday. You have to stop trying to go through your friends and go straight to the doctor and like, and get in, and they should be able to get you in. And if not, if you're having trouble breathing, then you should go to the hospital and have them run a respiratory check.
I talked to my primary. She agreed I did not need to go to the hospital.
Okay.
I think the thing with breathing is the quick answer is always the ER. And she gave me an inhaler. Like, I'm good for the moment.
So you're
like,
not experienced with the inhaler, it's helping?
Yes. And I'm a root cause person, and my doctor I go to an integrative doctor. So that's where I actually feel most comfortable going to her, because
No, that's good. It's just you're telling me you're having trouble breathing. So I want to be responsible as well to say then, like, you know, difficulty breathing is scary. And, you know, that's something that I would put in the list of, you know, we're all integrative, right?
Yeah.
We wouldn't be doing this if we weren't. So,
right. And
I mean, it's alarming enough, that for me to say that, but so it sounds like you've got it under control as far as
to a point. So like, I guess what I'm looking to do is work on the root cause issue, because I have so that's where I'm trying to figure out how to work on that root cause, because I can get my symptoms treated, but that's going to be just
but see, the thing, I'm a very root cause person as well. We all are. So it's not about like not focusing on the root cause, but if you have an infection, a respiratory infection, that needs to be treated quite differently. So we need to like figure out if you have a respiratory infection.
Okay.
If you have asthma, like what's going on with like what caused, a little bit more information on what this might be. Sure, we can help nourish your lungs and your lung qi and all of that through herbs. Like that's definitely a possibility. But you know, I think that figuring out if you have an infection is really important. Like I
was on antibiotics during this already too, and that didn't, like, from the retrieval surgery, I had antibiotics. So they crossed my mind. I'm like, I've had antibiotics. I've been taking
antibiotics. Don't, you know, they only treat bacteria, right?
Okay.
They don't treat viruses.
Okay.
So if you have a viral infection, the antibiotics do not treat viruses.
Okay. And viruses you tend to treat with, like, let it take its course or supplements?
Well, it depends what it is.
Okay.
What kind of viral infection it is, or if it's a bacterial infection. And not the antibiotics that you're getting through your IV, through the retrieval, they're different antibiotics for different things. So it's not like one antibiotic treats everything. And there are general broad spectrum, but there are like, you know, there are different ones for different things, different areas of the body, different kinds of infections. So it's just like kind of keep that big picture in mind, that that, you know, we need a bit more information, I think. But let's just take one step at a time. So you're getting seen on Wednesday, the inhaler's making you feel better, which is great. And then the oregano's bothering you. So let's just go with the mastic gum. And I'm thinking that we try black cumin seed oil, which is like people cook with it. It's like really, really and it can be paired very, very nicely with the mastic gum.
Okay.
Yeah. So or if you don't want to get that, we can do less of the oil of oregano and see if that feels better to you.
Okay. I mean, I'll play around with what time I'm taking it, and because that's kind of paused it, and I was like, let me come back to this.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm just
play around
about the respiratory thing. If it sounds like it's not great, and you know, I think it's hard. I mean, you know, Sarah thought potential like COVID related.
3 years and I've never had issues. The thing I just keep coming back to is the coincidence of the letrozole, my FSH shooting up and it happening. Like, to me, that just, and I've never, I mean, when I say I've never had issues, like I used to get migraines from allergies. I used to have terrible allergies and never a breathing issue ever in my life. So that's where it's just so coincidental. And I think that's why I'm so stuck on it being hormonal, because I've just never had issues and I've never had my FSH above a 7.8. And then it goes to like a menopause level and I'm having these issues. So that's where I got stuck on the hormone issue as being a very strong potential, even if it's just a trigger. There could be something else there that's just been dormant. I don't know, but it was definitely triggered at the same time, whether it caused it or not, or just triggered it.
I hear you. I hear you. I'm just taking some notes. A root cause plan. And then I recommended removing oil of oregano and taking black cumin seed. And you're not allergic to any of these things, right? You looked at all of the ingredients on all the supplements.
Yes. And it started way before the supplements. But I did take a break. That was another reason. I was like, let me just take a break and make sure. Like I've played around so much of like, could it be this? Could it be that?
Sorry you're going through all of this.
And then
when is your next hormone test? Like, how are you testing your hormones? So I also think, like, let's see what they are tomorrow.
And it's where I'm like in this place of just gathering data. I think that's part of it too, is like, let me see what happens when this happens. Like I feel like science is so much of just an experiment. Like, we gather data, we try something, we gather data, we see what happens.
Sure. What do you do for a living, Carla?
I work with anxiety and stuff, like coaching, nervous system work.
Okay. And so what does your training tell you for yourself?
What I mean, it tells me to like get my hormones balanced.
That's with your anxiety training.
I mean, that's definitely what
where I'm going here is like, what is your training going to do? How can it help you get through this period of time?
I'm undecided. I'm definitely trying to just go one day.
I know it's really upsetting to you because you think these numbers are menopausal. But when we introduce hormones for, IVF and retrievals and IUIs and medicated cycles, it's a little bit of a roller coaster, and it takes a bit of time for the body to level set and get back to homeostasis. And it could be a new, place that it goes. But I wouldn't say in your mind, like, have it go around in your head, oh my gosh, I'm at menopausal levels.
Right.
Like, you have that thought pattern going and going and going, cycling through your head. Does that make sense? Like, I would not label yourself as having menopausal levels.
Well, and not, yeah.
I'm just saying, like, and it's going and it's going, and it's really, that's tough, right?
Yeah. And I don't know, I'm not really, to be honest, I don't know if I want to do a retrieval soon until I figure this out. And I don't know if I feel safe either. So that's where it's just a lot right now of trying to figure out what.
And it was shocking it was shocking. You took these meds and then this happened. And it's like, oh my gosh, our bodies respond so differently and at different times of the year. And it's scary because then you're like, oh my God, did I make a huge mistake?
Yeah.
And you're beating yourself up probably.
No, I think that actually my only regret is not speaking up sooner about my symptoms.
Which symptoms?
the breathing, like, and that's where I'm like, I feel like I'm trying to backpedal now and be like, I know it started here. And I feel like if I would have said it in the moment, I probably would have gotten better support rather than being like, we don't know, who know, like, it's a good lesson learned. But with that said, I feel like as a woman, so often when we say something like a friend she's going through this too with letrozole. And like, I was like, you need to like respond immediately to your RE because
Letrozole is no joke, but
yeah,
please, like with your mind, because you've said the words menopause a couple times, and I just don't want that going around and around, because that's tough. And I know that it's like what you're going towards, and correct me if I'm wrong, with the women, is that we're often dismissed as being hysterical or crazy, paranoid, or it's crazy, like you're good, and I'm not meaning it to be like that, but we get into a cycle of labeling ourselves as infertile. What is the one for ovarian response, like all of these terms that people that are said to people, and it's like, or we read about when we start Googling, it's really gets stuck, and it goes in and we keep going back to it. Like, try to get out of that cycle is what I'm trying to say to you.
Okay.
Like, and I believe you that this started like, and one would say, okay, there has to be some connection there. And it could have been that your immune system got a little bit suppressed from being on antibiotics, and something was able to invade viral. That is one option. And it could be that these symptoms are from the hormonal shift. Both of those are possibilities.
Yeah.
And I think that, doing whatever you can, though, to protect yourself from going down the path of thinking that these are menopausal labels, like, or levels, is where I'm trying to help you with right now.
I mean,
because
I have no
think it's
doubt
super important.
too. I have no doubt I'll get my numbers back. Like,
right. So I think, like, let's just break that pattern right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think you can work on that?
Yes.
Okay. Because that causes a ton of fear and anxiety and regret.
Yeah.
And those are all like really tough emotions to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we need to get you better here. We need to find some answers, and you're right, we need to get to the root cause and get you better. So, what is most supportive of that we can offer? Because when you say, like, it's not being listened to, like, how can we best help you? What do you need from us?
I guess just
extra options for
protocol
GI.
best support, trying to get my hormones rebalanced. And the other layer I have is I'm trying to start PRP, and I have to nix. Dr. Haid has anything that would impact platelet activation throughout the entire PRP treatment. So no vitamin D, no vitamin E, which I need to get clear on if that includes like the levels in a prenatal, or he means like the excessive amount in an actual vitamin E itself. No fish oil. So no fish oil, omega-3, DHA. No garlic, ginger, ginseng supplements.
So I would take the antimicrobials off. Let's just pause on it. If you're gonna do, when are you doing PRP?
That's part of what my monitoring tomorrow will tell us. So like within a week or two, like somewhat soon.
Yeah, I think then just, let's pause on the antimicrobials then.
Okay. So that would be like which ones would that be?
Let's just pause on the GI protocol. Let's just pause on the whole GI protocol.
Okay.
Except for
the GI Revive and the probiotic.
Let's pause I was just gonna say, except for the probiotic, the pre and probiotic.
Okay. Okay. And I mean, this is for like 3 months.
Yep. It is what
Okay.
it is. I mean, it's
And
not,
it's
it's
cod
it's
liver
what happened.
oil. Is that, is that an omega? Like how, I'm not clear on what cod liver oil
Yeah, you would
contains.
if that's what the doctor is telling you that you need to pause on, then you'd have to pause on cod liver oil.
Okay. And I
Because
think,
cod liver oil is high in E as well.
okay. Spirulina is okay, right?
I mean, I don't know. I think spirulina is one. What underlying autoimmune do you have? Remind me.
None.
You have any? So
Yeah.
spirulina, if there
Had
is
really good health
autoimmune,
before I entered IVF world.
if there is autoimmune, it can cause
Mhm.
anxiety in some. I mean, the chlorella and spirulina one would want to.
Okay. And then is Rejuva okay?
You'd have to ask Amy.
Okay. I'll follow up with her on
Those
that.
are her, yeah. So the cod liver oil, I would think that it would have, I mean, it has a lot of A, it has D. I'm just it's omega-3 fatty acids, EPA, DHA. So the cod liver oils.
Okay. Okay. I
Yes.
thought that would be next thing,
Yeah,
but
just
okay.
reply to that chain and just, maybe summarize what we've chatted about. And
Okay.
then we can have Amy and Sarah weigh in as well.
Okay.
But
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
I think that I just I think it's one step at a time for you.
Yeah.
Like this week. I
And
think let's see what your blood results are tomorrow.
yeah. And part of me is like, do I even do PRP right now? Like, I feel like it all could just be too much. And I just need to
And I would just
balance
reread
it,
Amy's
right?
sentence.
Mhm.
And the FSH, like Sarah said, I think it is just a momentary thing in relation to estrogen. It is not permanent.
Right. No,
FSH is always changing in relation to estrogen.
I think I have a lot of curiosity when it comes down, if that will make an impact on my breathing or not. So I think I just have a lot of curiosity there because I think it will give me information one way or another, So
And I
I think
would
that's
think once you start anything for the PRP, you would want to hold off on Chinese herbs potentially. We usually don't like to have the Chinese herbs mixed with any of the fertility meds or treatments,
okay.
just because
Yeah.
it may impact. In some cases we will, but I think in general that's kind of the rule of thumb.
Okay.
There are certain supplements to continue taking, but if your physician is saying no to the cod liver oils and all of that, then you need to definitely follow that, I think,
Yeah.
in most
Yeah.
cases. But again, please summarize this so that, because Amy should weigh in on the Rejuva and she should know about the rest of it too. So
Yeah.
we'll
And
see
it
if
can't
raised or
be
not.
the first time dealing with Dr. Haid's protocols. So
I don't know, it's mine. So let's see what Amy says. Yeah.
okay. Okay.
Okay.
I'll
Do
do
you feel
that. Okay.
supported, Carla?
Yes, I think
Did
so.
I help?
Yeah, I think I'm just not sure on my next step, but I think I need to just
Well,
sit
your
with
next
that.
step is that you're getting your blood results tomorrow.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
So that's
I just
a big next step.
like, should I just take a break from PRP and everything and just work on my body,
No,
or
it's super scary. I mean, when someone says
I
they're
don't know.
having trouble breathing, I'm kind of like, then go get checked out.
Yeah.
Wouldn't mess with it. But you'll know if it's too bad. And it sounds like it's being managed with the inhaler.
Yeah, it definitely is helping, and it's definitely weather related. But I think that's all asthma of what I've been reading. Like the more hot and humid, the more active symptoms are, and then the cooler, calmer days, it's not so bad. So
Do you have any other questions for me, Carla?
nope.
Did
I
it
think
help or no?
Yeah.
I mean, just to summarize on the things that I'm working with functional medicine wise, we're going to pause the GI protocol with the exception of the pre and probiotics, which are
Okay.
the two that are listed as safe for all cycle. It's your orthobiotic and it's your phytobiome.
Okay.
We're going to continue. Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you. And
Thank
just
you.
double check that phytobiome if there's anything you're allergic to, but it seems like you're not. So
Yeah, and I've not taken it for a few days. I kind of just paused on everything outside of like basics, just to just to see what would happen. So,
but again, the head of like menopause, let's just stop.
yes. Okay. Thank you.
But you're not crazy and you're not hysterical and you're not overreacting.
Yes, thank
Bad
you.
meds, you can't breathe, your levels were cray cray up and down. I do think it takes some time to balance out, that it's somewhat, this happens,
Yeah.
you destabilize, but the breathing thing is kind of, I haven't heard that yet. So,
Yeah.
and I think it's just too, it has to be, you have to be heard because
Yeah.
you feel it and you know that it's real. And so don't let anyone tell you otherwise. But I do think
Mhm.
if it's continuing on Wednesday or tomorrow, even, you need to call your primary and say, I need to get in with a pulmonologist by the end of
Push.
the week. By the way, push for yourself.
Would
All things are possible.
respiratory infection be more consistent though? As I say, like I definitely have a pattern based on the weather, and which was why it was also hard for me to figure out what was happening, because some days are better than others, where I'll be like 3 days, no problem. And so that's where I was like,
Maybe when it's bad, you rested more and then you feel better. I don't know.
no,
And also,
yeah,
probably a respiratory infection wouldn't last so long. I don't know. I mean, it's
yeah,
very hard I can't
yeah.
diagnose.
Okay. I was just curious because I know I'll keep thinking about it before I talk to my doctor. So, okay. I'll follow up with her in the next couple of days. Any blood work testing to push for, like thyroid or something more?
When was your last thyroid check?
December.
Yeah, I would get your thyroid checked.
Okay. 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 Thank you.
Feel better, but you're not menopausal, okay? So let's just
Yes, I do
okay,
know that. And
good.
there are no night sweats or anything, so which is good too. So
So take that word out of your vocab. Okay.
okay, thank you.
Bye, Carla.
Bye.
Okay. Cassie, you ready? I saw your email.
Hi. Yeah, I'm ready. Um, yeah, I just had a couple simple questions. Because I received the jump start, but it didn't have any instructions in it.
There's a little card in it, in the box.
I scrubbed that box.
It's
Like
a
I just,
card. It's like it has a picture and it has the exact capsules and
well, what am I doing?
oh, I don't have it memorized. I have to find it because it gives you an order. Or it didn't have it in the box.
No, it came the other day ago and I was expecting to see something, but there's
Card.
nothing in
It's
it.
not a fold up, it's one card that you stick on your refrigerator and it's very simple. It didn't
I
have a
don't
card.
know.
That's weird.
I have, I've
I'll have to let
received,
them know because I've never, I mean, I'm sorry it wasn't included. It's very straightforward. So let me see if they have it on the website. Um, yeah, because they put it in the kit to make it really easy because then you just like have it on your refrigerator and it makes it all so easy.
hmm,
Let me just sign in. Hopefully they have an image of it that I can just send you
okay.
because it's much easier that way. I definitely don't, I would have to contact them and get the instructions for the kit because it's usually just in the kit. So I'm glad it came quickly though.
Yeah, it sure
Go see.
did.
Okay, they have it right on the website. Okay. So Okay. No. Okay. Export as a PDF. And do you have your emails open?
I do.
Okay, cool. Um, so I'm gonna call this jump start dosage chart. Save. Okay. I'm gonna sent. Sorry, we have a little kitten that is like going crazy. I don't know if you can hear it. How are you feeling otherwise?
I mean, I'm fine. I mean, I haven't really started anything. So it's just status quo for me.
Okay. This we are going to attach. Okay. Oh, here they are. This will be good to have anyway. Okay. Let's make sure it opens right. Jumpstart dosage chart. Oh, it's a little like sideways, but
That's okay.
okay. Apologies. I'm hitting the send button, then you open it and we'll go through it together.
Okay. While we're waiting for that to come through, the only other couple questions I had was, this is a 4-week protocol. And then the next protocol or phase 2, are you sending the rest like in a couple weeks? So it's here.
Yeah,
once this is done,
definitely.
or how does that
Yeah,
work?
so I'll send you the full script.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it looks like I see it.
Okay, cool.
Let me make this bigger. Okay. This is simple.
Yeah, it's that's why I was like, oh my God, it's such a good graphic.
Okay, and with food, without food doesn't matter. So yeah.
Well, I think so the biotoxin binder, it definitely does. So they don't specify here on this sheet, but on the bottle they do. So I think the biotoxin binder, because it binds, you want to take it, I believe it's before you eat, 30 minutes before. I'm still on their website. So they should have it on their thing. So let's just go through this real quick. So how you can start this is you have a couple options. Your first option is to dive in and just do the doses when they say to do them. Okay. Your second option is to start with just the CT minerals for a couple days and see how you feel. And then you can add in the next one for a couple days, see how you feel, then add in the third one, see how you feel, and then add in the kale support last. You can do it that way. You can do it that way and do the full dose. You can do it that way and do the half dose. You could do all of them at a half dose. So it's really like up to you. So what I was saying with that graphic that's good is like it's if you were to do it adding one at a time, that's the order to add them. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I have had people tolerate this really well. It's like pretty easy and gentle. I think I've done it myself. I've had a lot of people do it. A lot of people feel really great on it. So I'm kind of like just go for it.
Okay.
And then
Yeah.
when you start feeling yucky, let me know, and you have all of those different options. So again, the options are like 1 at a time at full dose, 1 at a time at half dose, slowly adding. So you start with 1, and then a couple days you add the second one, and then a couple days you add the third, and then you add the fourth. And you can do it in that sequential order at half doses, or you could just do all of them at a half dose to start and then slowly up your doses. But I think it's
Or just start it the way it's labeled.
yeah. And just check everything for any allergies. Now, the one that I think is definitely, are you able to look at the backs of them and see? I can look at each one. See if it links into each one.
Well, if there's any allergies to them, it's too late because they're already here.
Well, you could just return it.
Okay.
You don't have any allergies listed though I don't have any allergies listed for you. Do you have allergies? Are you allergic to anything?
Not necessarily, just
Wait, no,
sensitivity.
allergies are a yes or a no question. Are you allergic to anything?
I have a lot of sensitivities.
Okay. So, but no, like you're not allergic to nuts or something like that, right?
No.
Okay. So sensitivities to like what? Because I want to note it in your chart.
Like dairy. Well, we went over gluten. That's what we spoke about at length last time you and I spoke.
Yeah, there's no gluten or dairy in any of these.
So yeah, I think these are, so biotoxin binder, fine. Yeah, I think these are probably fine. I don't see any problems with any of this. Yeah, this is fine.
Okay. So I'm noting down because we have an area in red where we would note any allergies. And I'm saying no allergies, but lots of sensitivities, sensitive to dairy, gluten, what else? Just so that soy, okay. These shouldn't have any of those, so that's good.
And just sugars. So
Okay.
yeah, that's
okay. That's great. Okay.
okay.
Yeah, and so then the biotoxin binder, I think, is the one that specifies, I think, is probably 30 minutes before meals. Is that what you're seeing as well?
No, I mean, the instructions are 2 capsules twice daily. Can be taken with or without food.
Okay. I think, yeah, so the biotoxin binder like binds stuff up and gets rid of it. So I think if you take it before your meals, it's best because you don't want to take it after because you don't want it to bind up like all the nutrients, right? So let's do that one before.
Okay.
Yeah, 30 minutes before. Okay.
Before a meal. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's it. The only other thing was, who do I schedule or how do I, like, the test that came in, like the Dutch test?
Yeah.
Is that like, do we finish this and then work on that?
No, I think
Or-
you should go. Our preference is that you get your labs in.
So the Dutch came in.
Yeah.
And we didn't really discuss much of any detail on it.
So your Dutch came in and let's see. on my notes, sorry, I'm just opening up your chart so that I can remember. GI map. I think we did the high level on the Dutch because we were scheduled for a 30-minute slot. So we can, let's see. I know I emailed Amy about it just so that she was aware of what we talked about. Yeah, that's my memory, right? Is that we did 30 minutes, and so we'll schedule another time to go over your Dutch results, but I did incorporate into what I'm thinking about for your protocol into that's why we're doing the jump start, right? Is to help with your adrenal function. So I did incorporate what I saw, but because we only had that 30-minute slot, we went over your GI results and we're starting with the jump start. So I have incorporated into what we'll do for your protocol. I have incorporated those results in to it. So yeah, but we will schedule another time. So I was thinking what we do is you do your jump start, and then your next session with me, we can schedule enough time to go through what your next steps are protocol wise, and we can review that lab. But we did review it at a high level. We went through a lot of it, I think, is what I'm remembering from a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Does that not resonate?
So are we done reviewing the Dutch test? Is that what you're telling me?
No, what I just said was that we will review your next steps in your protocol together and schedule enough time where we can go through your next steps in your protocol and go over the Dutch test again.
Okay.
That's what that's why I said enough time for that. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. So just, I guess I'll wait till I'm done with this and then we just we'll schedule. It's just, I'm a little confused with the whole process.
Okay.
So
that's fine. No, basically, what works best is like, let's get a couple weeks through this and we'll schedule time to do your next steps. Because this is a month. So we'll go, because it's better to kind of do your review closer to when you're going to start the next steps so that you don't forget, right? Does that make sense? That's kind of why I do it. I mean, we could do it next week if you wanted to, but then it's kind of like 4 weeks from now, are you going to remember what we talked about for the next steps? I mean, I'll put it in an email, but it's probably going to be, it just kind of makes more sense that way, right? I think.
Sure.
Does that work?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So I like to do it kind of a little bit closer to when we're starting, just so that it's like fresher.
Okay, sure.
The reason we're doing the jump start is based on your Dutch results too. It's both. Yeah. Yeah. Because if I'm recalling, and I'll open up your Dutch results right now. And then did you do your genetic test at all yet or no?
Yes, I don't know if anything else has come in yet. I
Okay,
haven't seen anything in my
'Cause
email, but I think it's sent to you all or
Well-
to whoever at Team Amy. I don't know.
So your Dutch came in July 1st, right? So just a couple of weeks ago. And we did review it because your call with me, and that was let's see. Your call with me was right around that same day because we were supposed to do the 30th, and then I think we had a call literally the day that your results came in. So I said, "Oh, great. Your results are in. Let me incorporate what we're going to do into it." So I don't even think I had a day to even review it before we
you didn't.
I didn't.
No.
So that's
Yeah.
that's my recollection too. So I went ahead and opened it while we were on our 30-minute call. That's why I didn't schedule more time, is because this had just come in. It literally came in after we had already scheduled that session. So I did incorporate in the jumpstart to work on the adrenal, some of the adrenal things that I saw on it when I opened it. And then we were also, after you do this jumpstart, we're going to do the DHEA. And in the meantime, I had sent, I think it was 2 labs for you to get tested. in the meantime while you're doing your jump start. Let me just look at your chart. Because you need to have your DHEA S
Yeah.
tested, right? Do you have those written down?
I have the DHEA that I need to get, but I don't have I'm unaware of what the other one is.
I thought we were testing two. Is what this is just going off of memory. Let me check. See what email sent. Cassie. How are you feeling otherwise?
I'm fine. Just no problems. I mean, no, like nothing that's been uneventful. So, yeah, I don't
We
see.
actually talked for 45 minutes, even though we had 30 scheduled. We went a little bit over because we did go over the Dutch quite a bit. And let's see. We need to start with the adrenals, especially the morning levels. And then you were going to get a blood test for DHES. And then we were going to look at I wanted to see on your genetic test about another marker. So that's the second piece that I had talked to Amy about.
Oh,
What
okay.
happens with the genetic test is that, have you done that one yet? Yes, you said yes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Team Amy's gonna send you instructions on uploading to the portal. And then once you do, you and I will have another call on that. Does that make more sense? Kind of give you a bit more of a roadmap.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm glad that our timing was really good with our other call because your Dutch had come in that same day. I was able to really confirm that we should do the jumpstart based on it. And then so the two things that we're going to consider adding based on your Dutch to your next phase are DHEA and glutathione.
Okay.
Right?
Well, we need to talk about that. Yeah. Well, because the DHEA I have been on previously, although it was bioidentical DHEA, so maybe perhaps it works a little differently. But taking blood tests after I had been on it for several months, it had raised red blood cell count to unhealthy levels.
Right. So this is why I said I want you to get the blood test to see what your DHEA level is. And then so let's add on the red blood cell count so that we know where they are now. Does that make sense? Yeah, I don't ever I mean, I don't want to say ever. I guess most often with DHEA, I want to have a blood test before I'll prescribe it.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why I wanted that blood test. Exactly. That is a prudent thing to do. For sure. So if you can get that in the meantime, let's get that so that we're ready to go on the next phases.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I love it. Do you have any other questions?
No.
No. Okay, good. Do you feel supported?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you have a better roadmap?
Yes. I mean, I'm supposed to schedule a call with Amy, but I don't really think it's necessary at this point because we haven't gotten any other tests in.
I think she's going to look at them, but she's also going to look at everything else, the bigger picture and, what she thinks in general too. Yeah.
So that's something that I need to do ahead of time versus wait.
Well, I think how we used to do it is that the call with Amy would be very early on in the program. And now it's kind of like after a couple of months, because there are the group calls as well. So I think that her assistant will reach out when it's the usual timing for the call with Amy. I mean, you got your stuff in very quickly, which is awesome. Thank you for doing that.
Okay.
You got your labs in quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
which cohort are you in? Are you,
I'm in.
I can look on our sheet too. I just, again, I don't have it
Thank
all like memorized. Let's see which cohort you're in. Because I feel like you were like very on it, which is awesome. Let's see. Cassie, you are in the May. You're in the May cohort. Yeah, so this is like about the right timing if to talk to Amy. Um,
I mean, I think it's,
are you
but
doing fertiliosis?
yeah, I wanted to wait till those came in.
That's great. Yeah, then go ahead. Yeah, wait
Okay.
for them if that's your preference. Yeah, this program's for you. You know, we're here to support you however you need. So, you know, there's not this has to be this way. This is just what we recommend timing
I
wise.
see.
If you want to wait a little bit, by all means, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Some people wait a really long time to to get their labs in, and then they end up getting them in. So it's hard. But that's based on like if someone decides to start doing an IVF cycle or, you know,
yeah, no, I'm not
we always
doing
try to
that.
we try to meet everyone where they are. So we're not like you have to complete this by this date. That's not how we practice. So we're here for you.
I think I just prefer to get everything squared away as much as I can before I do anything else medically speaking. I don't think that's probably best.
Okay. Yeah, so you're okay to get the blood test though, and then
Yeah.
it was the red, let's get the red the red blood
That's
cells.
in. Yeah, those are already in. The
Recent.
yeah,
And did you
yeah,
have DHEAS with it?
no. That wasn't on the list. That was part of the Amy put together a list that I worked off of, but the DHEAS wasn't on there. So I have to add that. I have to get
Did you
get that.
upload them? Did you upload it into your chart?
Yes.
I don't see it in there.
Yeah.
I don't see it uploaded. Your blood tests. They're not, maybe I don't have, yeah. So let's follow up on that. Do you want to email them to me?
Yeah, I can email them.
Okay, that would be awesome. Yeah, and I'll put them in. I don't see them in there.
Okay. I will do that tonight. So you'll have those.
Yeah, no, that'd be great. I would love that. And then you can just get your DHEAS tested. And with the S, please.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Okay. Thank you, Carrie.
I'm so sorry I'm gonna let Cell Corner know that they left the instructions out. But now you've got the graphic.
Yeah. No, I guess it's not a big deal.
Will you let me know this week what you decided to do dose-wise and how you're feeling?
I mean, I'm just gonna do what the sheet is saying, 2 and 2, because I've been through a lot of this before already. So this is
You've been through the jumpstart already?
I've done all of, I mean, I'm 10 years into all this. It's just the gut issues return.
We have to figure out why it's returning. We have to keep it away. So we'll get there.
Yeah. So, I mean, it helped. It helped when I was on this stuff. So I'm assuming it's going to do the same. And then we'll just fix whatever else needs to be fixed.
Totally. Thank you. So our next steps, you're going to check in with me this week. You can let me know how you're feeling, that you're taking the full doses. And then we'll schedule a time for 2 weeks from now to go over the full protocol and to touch base back on more of your Dutch and to see if your fertiliosis came in and or the 23andMe. Does that work?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Cool. Thanks, Cassie.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks.
Have a great night. Okay. Bye.
Bye.